Okay, so the other question is, why do you need a site survey? This is actually a great question. This one comes from Rob. So Rob was challenged. So Rob's in our private group. He's been in our private group for a while. He says, well, a customer said they were fighting with director, budgeting, etc., and the IT manager. The IT manager said, "Well, we need a site survey," and the director's like, "Well, let's just put it up on our own. We want to save the cost of $3,000 to $4,000." So he didn't know how to properly answer that question on the fly, and that's why you have to come prepared to your meetings. Write it down on a PDF, etc. Why do you need a site survey? Okay, there's a number of factors. You want to make sure that the wireless network works. You want to know if it's properly designed. You want to have the stamp of approval. You want to have that Bible stamp, okay, that you could reference to in case anything happens or changes in your network, especially when you're dealing with warehouses. Warehouses, aisles, racking, products change. Okay, it's all about storage. We deal with maybe like 70% WMS systems, warehouse management systems. Product change, stocks changes, racking changes to make more room. You triple stack, you double stack, you get new products and new SKUs in. One thing you want to do is you want to take a snapshot of the before, and if anything happens, if anything has changed, you know how to troubleshoot this in the future. So that's one reason. The second reason, and the biggest reason, is you'll have companies, certain technology companies, before you call them. And I've been on many, many, many days and hours of troubleshooting between application, ERP system providers, software providers, to mobile device providers, to network providers like the Switch, etc. And we're all on a conference. Okay, we're on a conference call with the WMS system, the ERP system, the software provider that provides the mobile application. Okay, they're saying no, their software works. We shouldn't have a disconnect. This is what it's doing. Okay, then you have the AP manufacturer. The AP manufacturer, usually Cisco, Aruba, Extreme, etc. It'd be nice if everything was underneath one roof, but it's never the case because you have a software WMS person, you have the access point manufacturer, and then you have the mobile client, and then you have your professional service people that are helping you do the implementation. So where I come into play and where our team comes into play is this. One, you are in the middle handling all of these and testing out a lot of the things, because when you make a call and you're having this much of a complicated issue and task where you can't resolve it, Cisco or hardware manufacturers are going to say, "Do you have a site survey?" Part of the reason why they don't want to see the details, most likely they want to see, has your site been blessed? Has it been certified? If you say, no, I don't have a site survey, I don't have the heat maps, I don't have the SNR levels, because they can open up Air Magnet, they can open Ekahau, you could send them the site survey, and they can actually look at all the heat maps and how the SNR actually works. Okay, if they need, they'd probably request another one for you to go on site, make sure that there's no interference. Okay, so one of the manufacturers or both of the hardware manufacturers, whether it's access point manufacturer and mobile client, are going to ask you this: please send me the site survey report. If you don't have that, they will turn around and say, we don't know what we're working with. We're basically working in the dark. Please get us that report or have a site survey done, and then let's continue. You need the site survey. I know a lot of companies skip it until they run into problems. They take, an active approach, not a proactive approach. Okay, so so I've been in conversations with mobile device saying, no, it's not our software. It's not our software. It's fine. No, it's not our mobile device. Our mobile device is this. The second thing that I run into is firmware. You want to make sure that the firmware levels on your access points, so whoever's managing your access points, have to know, are you running the latest firmware, and are there known issues in this latest firmware? So you open up cases, and for example, we offer cloud managed services, and part of that is, we make sure that the APs are up to date, they're running properly, as well as the whole infrastructure. So, and this is the important question is, do you have an IT team that is capable of managing your VLANs, and can you look at the traffic? Are you just stuck at just managing the AP level? Because if you're just managing the AP level, you don't know how the backbone is, because wireless is just an extension of your overall infrastructure backbone. If you don't know what the backbone looks like, and you're trying to push 300 megabits or 120 megabits out of this pipe, out of this wireless, because your client needs it here for some odd reason for streaming, but your backbone only supports 10, okay, that's not your fault, but you don't know. You're blind to that. So the question should be, prior to doing everything, is do you have access to IT? Do you manage the cloud? Do you manage the VLANs? Is the pipe big enough, etc.? So those are the reasons why you need a wireless site survey. One is give it your blessing. You're doing before and after snapshots, and you're managing it. Unless you have them on a service contract or a managed service plan where you come in and you do this as a preventative maintenance because you're taking before and after snapshots, it's great because one, you've certified the site, you gave it its blessing, and two, you're always doing preventative maintenance or you're doing passive site surveys every 6 months, right? Because you want to make sure that nothing has changed. Because if something has changed, at least you could log that and you can say, wow, this looks completely different from how it used to look. Now we're getting blockage in this area, or our signal isn't that great. So at least you could report that, and then you could start doing your investigation. So at least you can describe that to the director or whoever is in charge of budgeting, etc. So that's why you need a wireless site survey. One, it's your stamp of approval, it's your certification. In case you run into calls, you could provide those site surveys to Cisco, to Meraki, to Aruba, to Extreme, etc. You could provide it to the handheld manufacturer, say, look, the site survey was done to the mobile device, and then the mobile device provider is going to help you at least continue that conversation. Okay, this is my mobile device. Here's what we can try, upgrade the firmware, etc. That's the second thing they're going to ask you to upgrade the firmware. So that's why you need a site survey. Those are the main reasons that I present when someone is asking me. So let's get into the next video, which is what is the first step that you should perform when performing a wireless site survey. So that one should be a quick one because I already described that. So let's get into that video.